make a proper video about it. Because anyway, I went... last year I compared it to, you know, Demon Slayer and so on, right? With the stock options of Sony, right? So of course, it's gonna be a movie, trust me. You know, because it makes the most sense, because movie makes the most money, right? So they're gonna make a movie for the last, I think it's like 9 or 8 chapters, right? So the movie is probably gonna be, honestly, terribly paced, right? Unless the movie is very long. Because you have to remember that Attack on Titan, one chapter is like 3 to 4 of an older manga. It's like a One Piece chapter is like 3, something like that, comparable, 3.5 something. Because of course Attack on Titan manga is only released once a month, right? So the chapter here is a longer chapter, so on. So there's a lot of chapters, right? If you talk about, like I said again, One Piece, Bleach, whatever, right? Like a normal, so to speak, a weekly manga, that's about then at least 3 times 9 chapters, right? Or 8 or so. So something like 3.5, whatever. So it's like 30 chapters, right? A lot of chapters to adopt for one movie. So I don't know, but again, I am sure it's gonna be a movie. There's no way next week it's gonna be less 5 episodes, right, or 2 weeks now. There's no way they're gonna be able to end it, right, with so many times left, and a movie makes the most money. But anyway, here we are, soon coming in to, of course, the penultimate episode. We're gonna have them escaping. There still is gonna be no rumbling, whatever. But anyway, trust me, this is gonna be a goddamn movie. I'm 100% sure on it. I just want to say it again, right? We certainly have a movie. Anyway, let's watch it. We're going to timer up. So there we go. And yeah, let's go, right? So 3, 2, 1, and go. But yeah, there's no way there won't be a movie. I just want to say it again. But I'll make another video about it later. And tomorrow I'm going to make the most hated character video. Yeah, so last week we did voting, right? I think you see vote on Twitter probably, because most of my YouTube channel. And I looked at who you guys think is the most, what character do you like the least of them, right? And Floch seems to be the most hated character, right? So I make a stream tomorrow where we discuss the most hated character, like my votes, your votes, and do the tier list of the most hated characters. That's my Monday planning. But I think Floch is the winner. Yeah, I think Floch, most people hate Floch, right? And then it's like Mikasa, I think it's number 2 or something. I haven't checked the Twitter poll yet, but something like that. But anyway, still just kind of recapping last episode. Yeah, they shoot, you know, they're betraying the... so you kind of doing what we saw last episode. Yeah, killing their friends. And so on. Which of course a good scene. With Connie now killing his friends here. Armin already, as I mentioned, killed humans. Oh, waifu Titan? Nice, look at that. Look at boobs. Yeah. I would smash. You would all smash Annie. You know you all would, man. You would all get into the Annies. It looks fine. You know, some decent animation. I just can't wait for Floch to own them all. We all know that Floch couldn't defeat an old grandma, but he's gonna defeat everyone here by himself. We all know that Floch, right? The best character, the most popular character. He couldn't defeat an old granny, but you know he's gonna be able to defeat Reiner and Annie alone, right? Because for some reason, Reiner especially has like anti-plot armor, right? He never dies, but Reiner never wins. So I'm sure that Floch can defeat him one-on-one, right? As a normal human against Titan. Certainly is in the realms of possibilities. But anyway, because they want the plane rights, you know, this has been the whole premise here. There's Best Boy Yin. Yeah, they need, you know, engineers and they need the fuel and everything. Right? I mean, it's a kind of plane. Yeah. And there she is, ultimate grandma. And people wrongly, also comment about last week, she's somewhat related, you know, to Mikasa. But she isn't like an Ackerman level thing, okay? She's a Japanese lady, okay? She isn't like, she's somewhat distant related to Ackerman, something like that. She's not the same, like, super powerful gene thing that Mikasa is. So, no, it doesn't really defend Floch that she could, like, kick his ass, right? Because she's just like an old lady that knows judo or something. She's from Japan. She knows, like, judo or kung fu or something. She's supposed to be, you know, Japanese, Chinese, something empire, right? It's a little undefined, but given that this anime basically is World War II-ish, right? Japan has taken over China, and yeah, I don't know. It's undefined how big her country is. But anyway, of course they're like, he's gonna destroy your home country and so on, eventually. But Eren is probably the furthest away from Japan, though, in this storyline, roughly speaking. Not the furthest away, nearest, yeah, but kinda like, you know, they're kinda in, you know, England, right, roughly speaking. So it's definitely a distance from Japan, though, for the rumbling. So, of course she wants to help them, right, to kill Eren, of course. Oh, here we go, the map, finally, there's a map here. Nice, so this is upside down Europe, basically. I can explain it later, but this is the map, so again, this map here, it's interesting. So that's basically England, you know. So here's like so if you picture that the world upside down, right? Picture that you kind of flip around the earth. Then you get this anime, basically. So they're kind of starting out, and people first thought they were in Madagascar, because it's like Africa, but actually it's Europe upside down. So if you know, you change the globe. I explain it later, but you basically change the globe, right? I can explain the review later. And so they're basically, the Titans are coming from England, right, into the English Channel. And that makes sense, right? Because the Marleys are obviously Germans, obviously speaking. So, you know, the Germans are controlling, you know, Normandy or so, right? Like they did in World War II. So, of course, French, right, or Calais, basically, is kind of where the Titans are coming right to it. But it's kind of, I can show you guys later what I mean here. It actually isn't that complicated. You basically take the plaster down, right, and the search. Here's the opening. But yeah. I do it more in the review, but isn't that actually complicated, right? Because you basically just flip the planet around, right? I made a video about it last year, when they revealed the map. I think there's another chapter, maybe later, where the map is better explained, but it's never been truly explained. But you can see, if you look at the map, that it is upside down Europe. As if I have the painting here, maybe. Let's find it quickly here during the opening. Let's see. I have way too many hard drives, okay? I have like 6 external hard drives. I have all the maps I draw last year somewhere. Okay, here we go. Okay. But when I write map, I get a lot of other stuff. I get like video game maps and so on. When I write map, it's a game I designed. So when I write map, you know, I'm getting, this is a video game I designed and so on. So yeah. I worked on way too many video games from home and so on too, right? You know? So when I write map, I get like here, this is like a map sketch that I made. I worked on a video game a couple years ago, right? And I made this is like a sketch, right? So on. So, but I have a lot of map, okay? I have a lot of map folders. I try to find it before the opening ends. Here's a map on the planet. I made like a really good drawing last year of this Attack on Titan map thing. Yeah, well, the opening is still going here, but. I have way too many maps. Rumbling, rumbling, rumbling. Way too many maps. I probably won't find it before this alarm is over. Rumbling, rumbling. Map IDs, map sketches. Oh, there's way too many maps here. Second Titan map. Damn it. I will draw the map later, guys, and I will show you, but I will find it. But anyway, no, the ending is over. I have way too many maps on my computer. Oh my god. I have like 500 maps for different games and so on, because I have 11 science. Oh my god. It was like search through all my drives for map was the dumbest thing ever. But anyway, here we go. They're gonna, of course, keep fighting. A little lag on the computer, but should be fine. I hope so, at least. A little lag now. Let me change the channel. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Just slightly. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. It's just, I don't know. My TV was a little weird. Yeah, but I will show. Don't worry, guys. I will show you in the review, and I'll make a video about it later too, because I think the interest is just in the map. Right? I made a video about it last year. It's just in the map, so I will show you how the map really works later on. I will find it. Here we go. Best character, Floch, right? Most popular character in the vote polls. Nice, look at it. So now he's gonna beat Mikasa, or he's gonna like win against Mikasa and Hanji. So his plot armor is insane, right? Because he's the only character who can survive Mikasa, you know? And also Hanji, and the Titans, Shifters and everyone. Floch is like immune to everything. He's like, man, I'm the main character! He got the main character power up, man. He's basically Eren, right? Because Eren is, you know, Mia for like 20 episodes, right? So he has to, you know, play the Eren, right? He's like, I got the plot armor. See? Everyone else is gonna get killed, right? You know, everyone else is gonna get killed by the people, but not Floch, okay? Floch is gonna beat the crap out of them. And of course Reiner, again, always loses though, so, I mean, it doesn't make much sense that Reiner's gonna have a chance though. But again, right, these aliens, they're getting owned by a guy with a gun, right? Yeah, they have this like spears and shit. He's like gunning them down, right? This is bad fighting just normal humans. The aliens are terrible when it comes to just fighting the Marleys with a rifle, right? Yeah, they're like, oh my god, he killed like 10 people with a normal rifle gun. Look at that. Someone lost an arm. Oh my god, it's Annie's buttocks. Look at this. See? Reiner is always getting old, man. That's his character. And he's about to get shot and Reiner's like, no! I will see. He has plot armor because he never actually dies. But at the same time, Reiner has like insane magnet for taking damage, man. This poor guy, man. This whole season, every time there's a fight, Reiner gets blown up in bits, right? And he's like, ah, and he gets back up again. He never dies actually, but my god, his life is just torment, man. He's like an Elden Ring character. His life is just constant torment. Poor Reiner. Every goddamn episode, he gets blown up by someone, right? And then we see Floch with the morale, right? I questioned that last week. I don't know if he's a good leader, actually, from a tactical standpoint, but at least he has morale, right? He's a good leader from, he actually is a good leader from, like, motivating them to fight, right? Yeah, he's pretty good. Like, making the Jaegerists be like, woo, let's kill them all, right? Okay, I think Floch now is gonna try to transform too. Oh my god, best girl Peak is there. She's like, come on, I can carry you guys, literally, because I'm like a mule, but yeah. I can't wait for Peak's moment. That's gonna be probably the move, I guess. Peak is gonna have her... yeah, Peak has a special ability, which she never uses until like the last minute. Yeah, like the second last chapter, Peak is like, here's my true ability of the Mule Titan. She's kept it secret for like the whole storyline, in the last moment. She's like, time to show you the true power of Peak. Yeah, Peak has the ace up her sleeve, right? When the goddamn is that happening? But anyway, yeah, of course Armin is fine, he's a goddamn shifter. No one casually got shot because we all know it doesn't matter. Jesus Christ. It's like Reiner also never dies, no matter how many times Reiner also gets shot. Here she comes, best girl. You know, carrying them. Proper good girl there. Look at that. Floch is gonna be fine, man. Floch is gonna survive everything. This is beautiful. Yeah, so let's go to engineers. Here comes an armor train, right? Man, that was cool, honestly, I found in the war. When they're fighting the Titan with, you know, armor training and so on. That was good, man, with the Marleys. I can't have to say more on that, seriously. When the Marley had, like, you know, Titan warfare to the countries. That actually was more interesting. But yeah, then they blow up the train there. Ah, poor Floch, man. They got me. Yeah, so now Falco is like at the moment here. He's like, you know, I can... yeah. Transform here. Little boy here. Yes, no Annie gets owned. But don't worry. She's one of the few female characters. Of course, her plot armor is amazing. But honestly, I find it just how easily they're owning Reiner and Anne. They kind of nerfing them, right? Yeah. Like how easily they're owning Anne is like screaming here in pain and so on. And how easily they're owning them. These like random javelin guys are just crushing them. Right? The plot armor is anti-plot armor. They're like noobs now. Because Connie kills 10 people, yeah. That's actually kind of a weird scene because last episode Connie struggled killing one person and now he killed like 10 people in a second. Am I the only one? He was like, I can't kill my human friends! And now he's like slaying them all! Now him and Mikasa are like flying around and he's like murdering everyone. Last episode he was like, oh, I can't kill them, right? Yeah, now he's like massacring them. Right? Now they're like, it's a goddamn genocide. Like, holy shit, man. It went from like, can I kill an alien friend into like, I'm just gonna kill all of them immediately. He snapped, that poor boy. He snapped. He pushed over the limit and now everyone's gonna die, man. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean the Titans are like pathetically useless in this fight. Right? Like Mikasa has killed more people than Reiner and Anne has together. Okay, of course, Peak though, best girl, of course, she survives though. I mean, it's Peak, right? So she's gonna avoid shit, but look at that, Mikasa is like killing more people. Like seriously, Mikasa's KD ratio is gonna dice, but like yeah, like Mikasa's killed like half their army by herself. And Reiner, I don't know, he took damage. He's like I guess it's a tank. I guess he's defense. He's just soaking the damage. But here we go. Finally, we're gonna see little Falco. Interesting, see animated. Look at that, the yaw-ish Titan. That's like yaw Titan. Come on, baby. This is so badly explained. But anyway, yeah. Oh no! Gabi with a gun! Oh no, you know people are gonna die now though. Oh no. Falco doesn't matter. Gabi has a rifle in her hands. We know that Gabi is gonna kill everyone now. Oh shit, man. We know the people are gonna get killed now there. But Gabi got a rifle. No. Who cares about Falco's powers? The issue is that Gabi has a gun now. Like, that's the real issue. Oh my god. But look at it, seriously. Mikasa has killed like half the army by herself. This is the only thing she ever does, right? Just killing people. The only thing she ever does. Yeah, she's like one-dimensional murderer. But I will give it that they're giving Falco more of that, his true power look in the anime here. It's good. But this is good enough for... See, not Floch is gonna like own them all. This is like crazy. This is like a love-hate scene for me, certainly. So not Floch owns, you know, Hanny and Mikasa peak. He's like avoiding Armin and all of them, right? And I was like, holy shit, Floch just took down all of them. He's powered by his hatred for other races, right? His supremacy power makes him immune to everything. Everyone's like, oh my god, he has owned everyone! He owns the whole team, right? By himself. Except, of course, our legendary sniper. There we go! Bam! He's dead! I love it! Bam! Never fight Gabi! it's so stupid. I love it! It's like, no, but also yes! It's like, no, not again, Gabi! But also, I hate Floch, so it's kinda good. It's like a very weird feeling, right? Because you're like, oh god, Gabi! Don't kill people again! But also, Gabi killed Floch! So it's kinda like... kinda balance it out, and then we can kill so many people. But I just love how, again, right, Floch literally, like, owned everyone. He owned, you know, Mikasa, all of them, right? They couldn't touch the Floch, right? The Master Floch couldn't touch. And then Gabi's like, bam, I got him. Don't worry, guys, I got him. And then Gabi appears, and as always, kills him, because he's the only goddamn character that can ever kill another, you know, named character, right? Because Mikasa only kills goddamn noobs, right? Like, Mikasa's kills are on, like, level 1 noobs. Doesn't gotta matter. Just got boiled over that. Doesn't really matter, right? That, yeah, male Mikasa here kills a bunch of random nobodies, right? No one values that. Gabi is the only one that can kill, you know, like, important characters, yeah. Gabi is the only one that's like, oh, I got this, guys. I got it. He avoided, you know, Falco's power form, Handy, Mikasa, Jean, and, well... He earlier avoided, of course, Annie and Reiner's Titan form stone. None of them, and also Peak, yeah, none of them could stop Floch, but Gabi. Gabi Sue appears with her one goddamn weapon and kills them, yeah. Holy shit, but Gabi could do it. Ah, that's the Gabi. Anyway, no Falco goes for the best goal here. Yeah, misunderstanding Falco, bro. I like how Mikasa walks forward extremely slowly and not really carrying too much. Yeah, it's like, whatever. But you certainly get, you have a little clue there to Falco's real power, I guess. I will give them that. His yaw Titan looks a little different, I suppose, than the other ones. So now everyone is super tired except Gabi, because he's the only one that just killed the most important character to kill without doing any damage. Everyone's like exhausted, you know, they're all tired. And Gabi's like, I killed him, you know, I killed the real kill. Yeah, I killed the important plot kill here. And she's perfectly fine. Oh, it's so good. Oh. And of course the issue is that it's so insanely predictable, right? It was predictable that Gabi was killing Sasha 2-1-2. Soon as Gabi was reduced, it was absurdly predictable she was going to kill Sasha in chapter 1 of Gabi. But just, the issue here, of course, immediately is that you know, like we all know that Floch cannot be killed except by Gabi, right? That's the pretty big issue, right? We know it's going to avoid because of whatever, but Gabi, no one can avoid the goddamn Gabi. The Gabi-nator, she kills everyone. Everyone knows, it's so... Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is like good bromance stuff. This is like an old bromance. This is nice though. This is nice. This is a good part of the episode. I love this stuff. Now these two old men are gonna be like, yeah, I wanna protect my kids. Yeah, you're also a kid protector. Yeah, you like your kids. Oh, but this is nice. I love this thing. This is great. This is like old man bromance general, guys. Now they're gonna be best friends here. Be like, oh yeah, I have my kids over here, you know, I trained them, I raised them. He's like, I also raised some kids. Oh yeah, nice. So now they're gonna like be best friends and team up to protect the children, right? They're like, yeah, they like my kids, yeah. So, you know, old man, veteran old man team up. He's beautiful. No, but I love this thing. Like, they're like almost the same person, right? Just on the different part of the army. Yeah, so they're gonna rig the bombs and so on. Yeah, because they're like super serious old men, right? Willing to die for the cause and protect the children and so on. Yeah. But they have a great conversation now. They're like, yeah, no, I just wanna, you know, protect my kids. I raised them. Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, like I don't care about the war anymore. I just wanna protect my family. You know, like, it's just like a nice touch. Honestly, I love this shit. Yeah, it's a nice touch how they're having the bonding. It's like, yeah, I understood the plan by, you know, seeing that, and then I saw Annie was back. You know, I trained Annie. She's kind of like my daughter in a way. He's like, I need to go to Annie. You know, you go train her, right, for a few years or so on. Yeah. So they both have some kind of, you know, parenting over Annie and so on, right? Man, what if Eren uses power in a better way, so the friends and family would have to die, man? I was still all hyped up the Floch gets shot. Oh, it's just a weird scene. You wanna scream, no, not again, Gav, not again. And at the same time, you're like, I hate Floch, kill him, please. You know, finally, someone kills him. But it could have been any other character than Gabi. No, it has to always be Gabi, right? But see, this is exactly what I mean. Now he's like, oh, this is like my family. This is like my children. You know, it's all like kawaii and like even Seek's there on the side. It's like, yeah, that kid, man, I kind of raised him. It's like, like it's just like this weird, like, I understand what you mean, general best friend. I can't drop it, but I find it very cute how they're like bonding over being, you know, veteran trainer guys. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, So, and they're both just like so calm. They're like, yeah, we need to do this thing too, you know. Protect the children. Thank you for your help, sir. Yeah, they're just like so calm, both of them. They're just like, we're obviously gonna die, but we're saving the children. That's what's important, yeah. They're both like, yeah, let's do it, man. Like, this is like, they're best friends. This arguably might be the best friendship in the whole anime, and they best friend each other in like a second, right? And you know, it's somewhat tragic, but it also feels like they really played out their role, these characters. But it's a little tragic, of course. And that's what I can say. This guy, he was the nicest Marley guy ever, right? You know, he was the one that was nicest to the Eldians and respected them and helped them and so on, yeah. So it's a little sad. But it's just like how I see it. It's just so calm too. It's like, yeah, let's do it, yeah. Goddamn cool over it. Anyway, a little too early ending. So it's some after ending credits. Yeah, the ending's going already. But it's yet again, just like last chapter, right? When Floch gets owned by an old lady. It's just a... And I always say this, right? I always find people coping so much about how the ending is the worst thing ever or whatever. And people are acting like nothing else was ever bad, right? But this chapter here is arguably really bad, right? In the sense that, why is Gabi the one to kill Floch, right? And I remember when I read it, and I immediately said, oh, Gabi should kill him now, right? It's just immediately you know that it's just like last time. It's like with Eren and with Sasha. Every time Gabi gets a rifle, every time Gabi is like, oh, I want a rifle! You know, one of the named characters, and a named character is an important, you know, plot character, right? Like Sasha or Floch, right? Every time Gabi gets a gun, right? It's like kind of, she gets a gun, right? And then someone dies, right? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter that Mikasa tries to kill Floch, because she just kind of kills the random nobodies, right? It doesn't matter. We all know that Gabi is gonna be the one to kill him, right? And that's why the right of Gabi, in a sense, is so terrible, because it's the meta thing that Gabi is always the one to kill every character. That's the annoying, like, meta knowledge, right? Aside how she actually acts in the storyline, but that we know that the author gives her every kill, right? That's why Gabi is so weirdly written, because she's in every goddamn scene, right? When like Eren tells because she hates it and so on. She's in every goddamn scene, and she also is the only one to ever kill any character, right? That actually matters, of course. Because Mikasa used like massacre like 50 people, but they didn't matter. They really didn't matter. Because nobody's. But anyway, I think you're gonna learn that. I just like the rumbling is happening, right? Yeah. So think and it's like, no, my dad is killed, right? Because they destroyed Calais or something. Yeah, they destroyed my home country or whatever, or the city at least. Yeah, because you know she's trying to save her dad, right? Primarily. It's like we might finally see the rumbling in action in like one episode before the anime ends. Like maybe finally. Kind of weird that Armin hasn't healed yet. I feel he's like healing really slowly now. It's like an episode of that. Yeah, so like we get a Marley. Yeah, they have reached Marley, right? Basically, you know, the title says reached Marley. We still haven't seen shit though, but the title says reached over the English anime basically, right? And now they reached Marleys, and now they are just killing people, right? Maybe next episode we finally see the rumbling, right? As I said last week, it's a lot like the winter is coming. Yeah, maybe next episode they're finally gonna see what they're actually doing over there. Now she is like, please Mikasa, we need to kill Eren. And it makes no sense that Mikasa agrees with her. Not because Eren is a good guy, right? But because Mikasa, until this whole last arc, never cared about anyone else except Eren. So why does she actually care about what Annie feels, right? Because until, whatever, like 5 years ago, she would almost be like, Eren. So, yeah. It's just so forced that Mikasa, for whatever reason, agrees to help them to kill Eren. Like, why, right? Because she never cared about Annie before. She never cared that Annie was sad. Remember the scene when Armin was like, Eren is killing Eren! She's like, have you seen my scarf? Right? So, just like an episode ago, 2 episodes ago, she never cared at all what happened to any other character except Eren, right? Yet, for her reason, she feels sad for Annie. Like, I will help you save your father, or I will get revenge for you. Like, why? Why would she care about it? Suddenly, she's like a new character, right? Suddenly, she's changed her personality. It's just incredibly, I would say, forced how... it's incredibly forced how Mikasa is betraying Eren. Because, again, it's never actually built up that she really never really cared about anything else than Eren, right? In her personality. But anyway, that's the episode. What do you guys think, right? Who kills Floch? Of course, it's Gabi. Because, you know, Gabi Sue has killed everyone. And I was sitting here immediately, right? This is a new episode, but immediately. This is the issue with Gabi Sue, right? It isn't that Gabi's... I mean, Gabi has issues too, don't get me wrong. She has like kind of forced character development, very fast, whatever so on. And etc. Right? She's very good at everything. Like she's a master at aiming and sniping and flying and learning new abilities. It's a very Marley character, right? But the big issue here, again, is what I've been saying for over a year, right? Is that every goddamn time some character has to die, it's an actual named character, like Sasha or whatever, right? Gabi gets the kill. That's the issue, right? That's the massive issue with Gabi. It isn't that actually Gabi as a character could have been better or worse written in the actual, like, you know, in-universe storyline. That could have been better or worse or whatever. Doesn't actually matter in this context here. The real issue, the first issue of all, is that we know, right? We as the viewer know that who's gonna kill Floch? Well, it's gonna be goddamn Gabi, right? Like, it's so obviously predictable. You see Floch being like, woo woo woo, he owns everyone. Floch is like, he owns Mikasa, Hanye, you know, Peak. He's like, he owns everyone, right? He does this amazing, like, flipping a voice and shit, right? Shifters can't hit him and all this stuff, right? He's like a perfect, you know, like a perfect gameplay, right? And he perfectly avoids everyone, more or less. He has a score, but, you know, like, oh, it's like, blah, blah, blah. And then Gabi is like, bam, kills it. Easily too. Like, one shot, bam, he's dead, right? And that's the massive issue with Gabi. And not only that she's the only character allowed to basically get the kills, right? But also that we know it's gonna happen, right? Immediately when I see that scene, you have to be honest with me. When you see that scene of Floch flying around, we all know that Gabi is gonna be the one to get the get the shot, right? You know, we know that Hanny is gonna miss us all, right? And that removes a lot of the drama and tension. Like, it removes that because we know that every other character, all these other named characters are gonna fail, right? We know that Mikasa is gonna fail, even though Mikasa is supposed to be this like godlike, super divine warrior, right? We know that she can't defeat Floch. It has to be Gabi, because that is how he writes Gabi. Gabi is the only one to ever get the kills, right? It actually matters. Because the kills are these random nobodies, but they have no actual value, right? Like, it's like level 1 guy. Oh, yeah. But when it actually comes to the one guy that matters, Gabi has to do it, right? And that just removes the tension and the drama, really, from any other character, because we all know that, yeah, they can't do shit, right? Gabi is the only one with this, like, anti-plot armor. It's like I keep calling it. You have plot armor, right? And Gabi is written, as I keep saying, as a plot object, because she's written as the only character, basically, allowed to hurt other plot armor, right? She got an anti-plot armor, and that is why she's such a terrible character in the, like, an actual meta sense, right? Not in-game, in-universe, anime, manga, game, whatever, right? Book or whatever, but in the knowledge that we have outside reading the media, right? Because I guess what it really does, I would summarize it for, is that it removes the immersion, right? It removes the immersion because I know that Gabi is gonna be the killer every goddamn time. That means that I have the knowledge I'm reading something, I'm not immersed in it anymore. It really removes me from the storyline because I know that every other character has no actual value when it comes to, you know, deleting another character. I know that Gabi has to be the killer, and that really removes me from actually really caring about the scene, right? And it ruins the immersion because you know that Gabi is always so forced into every goddamn scene and also getting every goddamn kill, right? Yeah, her first rant immediately. No, but this is what I've been saying this for like over a year, right? That Gabi is terribly written, but just in this kind of context, because yeah, like she's the one to get every goddamn kill, right? So if you go back here now, I'm going back to the episode. So let's start with this thing, right? We have the Falco, we have all these characters coming in, right? Trying to kill Floch, right? We have like every goddamn, so many characters are trying to kill Floch. That's why it's so, this episode is perfectly ridiculous to it in that sense, because it's like a cake on a cake on a cake on a cake. So let's start with this in here. Here we go, right? It is Floch versus Falco. So Falco has just shifted, he's going into this like yaw titan thing, right? He's gonna fight Floch or whatever. But Floch is gonna avoid the shit. Floch is like, I don't care about this thing. New shifter titan, you know? He's gonna avoid this shit, right? And this is like arguably fine then, because yeah, he's a new shifter, he's a bad thing. I do like the detail on his body though, so that's interesting that Falco really isn't the yaw titan anymore. I won't spoil it, but I mean, obviously he looks very different than the previous ones. It of course is never explained why he can do this thing and why he is much better yaw titan than anyone else. But as you can see, his yaw titan powers are very, very different. And I do honestly think it's arguably a very plot hole that his powers are so different, even though there's no build up for whatever. But that's like another video, maybe next video. Because doesn't make any sense. And it has zero build up, except yeah, his dreams or whatever. It's just kind of silly. And also it's a plot hole later why Eren doesn't use the powers. But anyway, he's gonna fight Falco, right? And here at least I can believe that Falco can lose because he's a shifter, new shifter. Okay, fine. So that shit happens. Okay. Let's just like live with that. Okay, let's live with that. Okay, but of course then Floch is like he gets power up, but he's like, I'm getting serious, right? So he easily avoids. He owns Falco, right? He owns Falco. No problem, right? But man, this scene is hard to frame though. I'm gonna pause the scene perfectly. Okay, this is a really cool action scene and it's super fast. God damn it, I'm trying to get a good scene there of Falco running. Mikasa also goes after him. Now we're see when he avoids Handy. Okay, I will say here that the frames are kind of hard to very, very quick frame. It's a good fight scene, but goddamn, it's as frame fast and Handy is behind him. So I get the angle I want here. Try again here. Trying to get a there maybe. Honestly, I'm trying to freeze frame this perfectly here. Yeah, okay, I got it. I feel it's like perfect showing us what I mean, right? So then the next scene, what happens? Okay, he avoids. Again, he avoids Falco, and he comes chasing after him, right? So he has to run for like quite the duration here, while one of the strongest female fighters, she's not Mikasa, right? But she's still there, and she's like chasing him, right? After he just avoided Falco attacking him too, right? He's fighting both Falco and Handy at the same time. And the reason I picked this in two here is because this is kind of the whole motion, right? Falco's already chasing him, right? Then Handy also Johnson hitting him and so on, right? He's gonna avoid all the shit, right? And then more characters, you know what I mean? Like every character is gonna come in here and start, here's my Nesco, right? You know? It's like every character is gonna come in and start running after him, right? It's this kind of scene where he's like chased by the whole team, right? You know what I mean? It's like every played a MOBA game, League or whatever. Like the four, it's like the whole team, right? Of like 10 players is like chasing after him, basically, right? More and more people gank him, right? Everyone's like, kill that bastard, right? They all jump at him, you know? And of course, it doesn't matter. He's gonna avoid every goddamn character to keep joining into this like mass gang thing where everyone's against him. And of course, then Gabi, in the end, is gonna one-shot him, right? That's why it's just so bad, because it's bad for so many reasons, but it's the whole thing that it doesn't matter how many other like important characters join in to fight him, they're all irrelevant except Gabi, right? That's like an ongoing theme with Gabi, that every time Gabi is the one to do it, right? So it is a really, really weird scene, right? We see Handy hurts him, very, very slightly, and then, you know, it's like then Peak arrives, and yeah, she tries to get him too. It's just like, it looks really good. Like, the actual scene looks good, but it also, god damn it, but it also looks so, I get so frustrated, you know, seriously. It's just so bad in a good way, I don't know, but the whole thing that Peak also has to grab in, and he like perfectly avoids her too. It's just like, yeah, oh my god, it's like, okay, I'll lose my words, but I mean, I said earlier, it's cake on cake, right? It's like the next character, next character, next character. Every goddamn character, the whole team basically, the whole ultimate assembly team tries to get him, and he somehow still avoids every goddamn character. Like, imagine his plot armor. Let's say that. Imagine the plot armor that he has, right? Think it, yeah. Let's think it like that instead, you know? You know what I mean? Think about it like that, okay? Like, think about his plot armor. He has this he has a sinister, you know, he has an insane, evil, sinister plot armor, right? This guy is being attacked by the whole team, right? And this is after he also avoided the character last week, right? So he's been fighting all of them. He did it all after. This is what I mean. You know, Handy hits him, you know, in his back. Peek hits him in the back, right? Like, everyone keep attacking him. Next character. Like, his plot armor to be able to avoid all of this character is just insane. He has an insane plot armor, right? His plot armor is just absurdly high. It doesn't make any sense about that. His plot armor is so divine high, right? It's so insanely high that he can just easily or arguably beat all these characters, right? Or at least avoid them perfectly. And of course, that comes me to that conclusion, right? That Gabi's anti-plot armor has to be insanely high. We already know that, of course, she's the only one to talk about it in Rant. She's the only one to ever kill the character, right? But think about it from like an actual, I don't know, like meta power standpoint, right? He can avoid like 20 characters, whatever, right? 10, 20, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you can never avoid the Gabi. And, I mean, the more, this scene is cool, but at the same time, it is truly insanely stupid, right? Because the more character he defeats, right? The more, you know, imba is Gabi, right? The more he can beat characters with ease, so to speak, right? Relatively speaking, the more stronger Gabi has to be, right, to defeat him. And it's also kind of, in this sense, so sensible weird too, right? That Gabi again just shoots him once too. It's not even that trouble for her. She's like, bam, right? And she's not even like impressed too. Like, everyone is like, no, you know. You see Pigs, everyone being like, no, we can't stop him. Everyone is screaming, they're like crying. Like, you know, they all get like a shocked panic face. And Gabi's like, boom, I got him. Pretty easy actually. I didn't even try. You know, she's like, perfect aim, but he's dead. You know, like she doesn't even look that concerned, right? And everyone else is like, yeah. She's like, I got him. Don't worry, guys. I got a rifle in my hand. You know, like. So yeah, let's go to the Gabi, of course. Let's go to our beloved Gabi. But it is easy to love Gabi, seriously. But I think, again, the issue I also have with Gabi isn't so much how she is as a character. And I always say this, right? People always cope with the Gabi, right? They always cope with the Gabi. My issue with Gabi has never been how she's written, even though I also disagree with that thing. I'm also saying I don't think she's very good written either, for that matter, right? But the issue isn't truly how she's written as a person or whatever, even though I don't like that either. But the issue is, again, she's always the one that wins everything, right? She's the ultimate, like, shoehorning character. Because then, of course, we get you know, Floch is gonna destroy it, right? He's beaten every other character. He flies in here, I know I'm parroting, but you know, he's flies in here, right? Beaten every other goddamn character. And the other character are, you know, in shock, right? It's a good scene. Best called Peak is pretty good, yeah. Like this thing, right? You know, Peak is like, oh no, I couldn't stop him. He's gonna destroy the plan, you know. Oh god, he's too powerful, right? Peak is in shock. She's like almost crying. Con is in shock, right? Everyone is like, oh my god, he's just so goddamn good. He's empowered by his, I don't know, racism or something. He's like divine powered by his supremacy gene. He's like, oh no, I can't stop him. You know, Mikasa asks, you know, again, right? Mikasa, the ultimate warrior lady, she fights the warrior guy, but still, Mikasa's like, oh no, I couldn't stop him either. I can't stop him, he's too powerful. Like, every other goddamn character is like, no, he's just so goddamn OP, we can't stop him, right? You get my point, yeah. They're all like, oh my god, no. And what happens? Where is she? And then, of course, yeah, like, he runs up there. Where's the goddamn scene? She can sit there. He's screaming, you know, everyone's like, oh no, he's too perfect. You see the camera zooms in on her rifle. And he flies into the water. But I mean, Gabi barely even looks concerned. She's like, yeah, I got him. I mean, she looks a little bit like, hits her in the face, the blood. But she's just like, I got him, you know? Every other face was like, wah! She's like, you know, a little shocked, but still like, you know, yeah. You know, and then later on she's like, oh, it's pretty easy, right? Whenever else, Mikasa's like, no, he's too strong for me, you know? Every other character is like, but not for the Gabi Nate. No. Gabi Suman, she comes in there, all with that A-sleeve execution ability. She always got that, you know, perfect kill Gabi, right? Yeah, perfect kill Gabi. Never missed a shot. At least if she missed a few times something. That's also an issue, right? At least if she shot a few bullets at him and missed like 3 times or something. I mean, a huge issue, right, is that he could avoid every other character. We saw him just like avoiding Hanji, Mikasa, Falco, Pig. We saw him like dancing around every other character, right? He avoided, of course, again, Reiner, Annie, and earlier and so on. Right? He's been like the freaking, you know, sword dancer master, right? But then as soon as he gets close to Gabi, he's like, boom, you're dead, right? Like he's like 99% evasion chance is reduced to 0 right next to Gabi. And that's why it's so stupid, right? And that's why the writing really, really fails, because that, in some kind of weird meta power plot thing, right? How can he be so goddamn immune to everyone else, but no one is immune to Gabi? And again, then, it's also always on a rant here, right? But back to my original rant, it's just so predictable, right? It's so insanely predictable that Gabi is gonna be the one to kill him, right? And that's, again, a issue. Because it's like, always, every goddamn scene with Gabi, she's the one to do it, right? And that's just so silly. But anyway, what more happened in the episode than that Gabi kills Reiner? Floch. Oh yeah, one thing I say before I go to the other scenes. It's an interesting scene though, because obviously you really hate Floch, right? Talk about it more tomorrow with the Floch, the hate list, based on you guys voting and so on. The vote I saw last week, see what people think and so on, right? And that's why the scene I think is also overlooked sometimes by the fans, right? Because obviously I think this is one of the worst scenes in Attack on Titan, that Gabi kills yet another character with no issue. It's terrible writing. But anyway, people I think overlook this scene, and I to some extent too, honestly. I don't overlook it, but I have a hate-love for it, right? Because you hate Floch. You wanna see Floch die, right? So I think that's a thing too, that people are kind of like, well, I mean, okay, yeah, it's kind of bad, it's always Gabi doing it, but I mean, Floch died, so, you know, that's kind of like, in the thumbnail I was like, you know, you kind of like measuring that, I mean, I don't want to see Gabi kill every character, it's really silly, but at the same time, I do really want to see someone killing Floch. So you have that feeling where you're like, maybe it's good that you killed him, even though it is bad writing, that she's the only one always killing people. It is a little bit, it's a balance act, right? Because at the same time, when I see this scene, I'm also happy that Floch finally got shot, right? But he's not a dislikable character, he's just a douchebag character. So yeah, it is a really like weird scene in that sense. Of course I wish that any other goddamn character could have done it, right? Why does it have to always be Gabi? That of course is the big issue. If it was Mikasa doing it or whatever, it would be so much better. Hand, Peak or someone. And that's also why I think the writing in this particular scene, right? It is truly terrible, because how can he not see that? He keeps using, or actually arguably on purpose, right? That's even worse. But it's like, how can he not see that he uses Gabi for this way too much, right? What if Peak just killed Floch? You know what I mean? What's the point of having Floch avoid Peak to then get shot by Gabi easily anyway? Might as well have Peak kill him, right? And that would be the exact same result of if Peak, I don't know, bite his leg or something, as Armin, right? And he fell down in the water. It would be the exact same effect, basically, right? And it would feel so less immersion breaking that at least someone else finally could hurt someone, right? With a named character. Like that kind of change, that Peak or Hanji or whatever, right, would have hurt him, or at least stopped him, so to speak. That would have changed this scene to be a lot better. Or it could be someone else, Falco, right, transforming and biting him or something. Yeah, it could be anyone else, right, doing it, and the scene would be much better. Now instead, I just get like a hate love for it, because it's just so silly that it always is Gabi. And yeah, like I hate seeing Gabi killing every character. Yet I also really want to see someone kill Floch, right? So it's like a very balanced act. If you like that he's dead, but you also hate that that she did it, right? You know what I mean? So it is a really weird shit. But anyway, let's go on in the actual what the part to do. That's about the map, okay? I was talking about the map. So whatever, Floch is dead, Key got shot by Gabi. As every other goddamn character ever. But anyway, let's not talk about the map, okay? I'm talking about the map. The map, at the moment people thought it was Madagascar first, but it actually isn't Madagascar. It's actually supposed to be upside down, you know, upside down Earth, right? So here we got the map, guys. The map then of Attack on Titan. It is not exact. This is not like perfect, you know, science here, but basically, the first time you see the map, this will be the first time in anime, maybe. I think the map has been shown once in some kind of eye catcher, slightly, but yeah, the map is basically just upside down world, right? Okay, it is upside down Earth, and you think about that. That makes a lot more sense than it would be like in Africa or whatever. Not only because of temperament or whatever, right, like the atmosphere. It's clearly Europe, right, in the trees and so on. But, of course, the Marley are supposed to be, you know, evil Germans, right? And where did the evil Germans take over World War II? Well, France, right? And, of course, so they started in Germany. And they took over Austria, you know, Poland, blah, blah, so on, right? It's like the middle of Europe. And then, of course, France, which happened the D-Day, Normandy, right? That's the north of France. And so imagine that this Marley Empire is basically, of course, is evil Germans, right? And so they're controlling, you know, a large part of Europe, of arguably the whole of Europe, but most of Europe, right? And so it makes a lot of sense that it actually would be. It makes more sense that instead of being like upside down Africa, because people first, I remember, thought this map was supposed to be like, you know, upside down Africa, right? But that makes less sense, right? That the German evil guys would control Africa. It makes a lot more sense again that they would control Europe, right? So, yeah, and think about everyone's name, you know, Eren Jaeger, right? Jaeger, that means hunter, right? So, and so on. So it makes a lot more sense, right? They would actually be in Europe. And then what island, right, is basically paradise? Well, it's basically UK, right? This is like a manga chapter where they show the map a lot better, and it looks a lot just like upside down Europe. So basically, you know, we have the same Mediterranean is there and so on. Whatever, but that means then, is that, you know, they have to move across the English Channel, right? Basically, in Titans, to get over to Calais and so on, right? And that's kind of weird, you know. And his father and so on lives. They kind of lives like northern. Yeah, I mean the Eldian ghettos are basically, you know, northern France or whatever, like Normandy, Calais, and so on, that kind of area, right? Of course, it's never exactly explained how the map is perfectly, where the cities are or whatever, but it's kind of the rough image, right? So if you go and take a world map, okay, if I go and show you, right, you know, the world map, right, and I flip it upside down, right, then we get the effect. And I made what's a GIF for? It's a GIF for some reason. I made another video about this last year, right, discussing this you know, the world map, right? So if you flip this shit upside down, give me a second there, 180 degree, right? We kind of get where they're coming from, right? But yeah, we kind of get how they're moving. But especially it felt like there was supposed to be Africa first, but then when they actually kind of explain it, it is really like World War II thing, and they're coming upside down and so on, and it's supposed to be, you know, roughly that kind of map. So this is kind of how the map looks like. Okay, now my camera's gonna be whatever. I'm ugly anyway. So yeah, okay, let's cover my face. I'm not pretty enough anyway. So you kind of get this kind of the feeling how the world looks like, seriously. And you know, you're kind of moving, right? Actually, let me do these things. That is actually much smarter. So I get like the drawing here. Yeah, let's do these things there. Then I can draw instead, right? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, we can draw instead. So you know, so I just want to do. I did the drawing last year. I want to point out again, right? So you can imagine that this is how they're moving, right? You know, imagine they're moving like that. I don't imagine they're moving like that, right? You know, this is basically kind of what we would imagine. Wherever they start, this is how you would imagine the rumbling works, right? Let's say they start here then, right? So this is kind of how the rumbling would act, right? They're moving in a circle, and obviously, you know, the world is gonna expand, right? And they're gonna, like, you know, destroy everything, getting closer, right? And this is gonna be a plot hole later in the show, actually. So I put it out here that it doesn't make much sense actually how this acts, because of course, if you look at the world map, right, even upside down or not, it's still kind of Earth world map, and the epicenter of the rumbling will still be the same thing, which of course means that the whole movement, right, when they're moving over here in the circle, They're gonna destroy countries, right? Of course, closest to where you start, the epicenter, and then it's gonna be safer and safer. So, for example, as I mentioned earlier, Mikasa's great-grand aunt on the second cousin, whatever she is, right, the old lady, she's from Japan, right? Or whatever then that the Japanese empire is in this world, because remember that Japan had taken over a bit of China and so on, right? So Japan might be like this big or whatever, like it might be this big, right? Or actually it might be even bigger. Maybe Japan's like that, and this is never explained how big Japan is. But it might be like the blue circle, right? It's never really explained how big Japan is. But let's argue that it's something like this, right? The Japanese empire in this anime, because again, Japan is somewhat in this like World War occupation power during this time, right? So it's something like this. So yeah, Japan is like super safe, right? Compared to the rest of the world, because even if it starts up there or whatever, up in north or south or whatever, the epicenter is kind of from there, and Japan and obviously like Canada, whatever, is quite. I'm covering Canada here, Canada is like quite far away, right, from the center, right. So you're mostly safe there and so on. But and that's really important, right? Because think about it, when they take out these people and they take the aliens and they send them over to attack the paradise, right? It's actually a very short travel, right? It's like the English Channel distance, right? To pick them up and go and drop them there. So obviously the ghettos they live in, right? Annie and so on, it's very, very close to actually paradise. And what I mean then, and I don't want to say the spoiler, but come on, it's kind of obvious that there is a weird thing with the whole storytelling here, because if the center actually moves to that, which it actually does, right? And this is never explained in any other way. Of course, they would destroy those cities first, right? Yet they don't. So I think the rumbling should already arrived. And his parent, whatever, right? The parents should already been killed basically by the rumbling, because they live very close to where the rumbling starts, where it is obviously fine that like Japan isn't destroyed yet, because Japan is the furthest away, or like Australia, whatever. But the other countries way over there, right? Of Oceania, whatever, they are the safest countries, right? Or like North America is the safest countries, or maybe South America. But you get a point. Like the edges of the world in those senses are the safest, where like Europe and Africa is the least safe, right? And yet it's like this, and I say it immediately. It doesn't make sense really that it takes so much time to get over to like Annie's father or whatever when he lives like in the next city, because like no matter where it starts in Europe or Africa, it's very close over those channels. It doesn't make much sense, right? They should have got it way earlier, and it's gonna get worse, honestly. And I say that without trying to spoil too much, but it really feels like, I don't know. For me, I mean, it's an objective plot hole how the rumbling doesn't make much sense how it's moving, and also how the rumbling destroys stuff in the world, yet doesn't destroy some places. Doesn't make any sense, right? Because again, the rumbling is moving in this kind of circle, right? And so they would destroy. It's kind of like how the whole Thanos snap thing also is really stupid in Marvel. So let me explain that just very briefly, right? So the Marvel snap thing, with Thanos, and I feel like I spoiled that, right? Like a very famous movie. It doesn't make much sense, right, from an actual mathematical standpoint, because Thanos is like, if I snap and I kill 50% of every person, right, 50% of all life in the universe, like on Earth or whatever, then I achieve these things, all right. But the math on that thing doesn't make any sense, right? Because if you actually would right now snap your fingers and half of every human died, that would kill a lot more people. Think about that. I hated that in the movie, honestly, because I'm that kind of guy, right? But like, I hate that in the Marvel movie. Obviously, I'm a Marvel fan, I have a lot of Marvel stuff. I have all the Marvel paintings, Captain America, Avengers, so on, right? But that doesn't make any sense. Because if you kill half of the population in a 1 second, right? In 1 millisecond, whatever, a lot more will die. First of all, everyone is like flying a plane ride, driving a car, and so on, are gonna be an accident. So millions of people are gonna die just from the accidents, right? Like seriously, because if every driver dies in the same moment, it's gonna cause mass damage, right? Every plane's gonna crash. Not every plane, but most of them are crash, right? All the the Raider people are gonna, half of them are gonna die, and so on. So millions and millions of more life would immediately die, right? Because you just like snapped all the drivers away and so on, right? Massive chaos in that sense. And as we see in other, the last man or whatever, right? If half people die, who's gonna work at the farm and make food and so on, right? So the whole Thanos thing has always been crap, because it's like, well, if you snap, you're gonna cause like this massive issue, right? Where so much more people will die, right? So, and they was never addressed that in the movie, which is really stupid. But probably I would argue for that at least like 70% of people probably would die from Thanos killing 50%, like 20% more, probably at least 75 or so. Probably is the first years, right? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. I guess the only thing they have is to have food stored up, I suppose, but it's gonna be like a mass, destruction, right? And of course, another issue with the whole Thanos thing on a side of it is that just killing half of every life on every planet also makes no sense if some planets are, this easier at repopulation and blah blah and so on, right? Because they might fill that void easier. So it's a lot of issues with the Thanos snap shit. But without trying to spoil the Titan here, obviously Eren's plan has a lot of similar plot holes, which is like, but that doesn't make any sense. How did he achieve that with the rumbling or whatever? Now then, let's talk about I can't help myself. Like, oh no, the Gabi. No, okay, let's not talk about Gabi. No more Gabi. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. I saw how cute she is. She's so adorable with her, insta kill weapon. Yeah. No, I want to talk about something else. I find it's kind of funny. There's Connie. Okay, weirdest Connie when he's like killing everyone. Mikasa killed so many people. Holy shit, Mikasa was like murdering half the army by herself, easily. But there's a scene with Connie when he's like murdering. I hear this when this girl is like crying. Yeah, this poor girl is like crying right there. She's like, please leave me alone, This poor lady is like, oh no, please Connie, Mikasa, don't kill me, right? She's like, yeah, she looks really worried there. And the reason I pick up the scene, right? Of course, I mentioned it earlier. The reason I pick up the scene is because, of course, last episode, Connie, right, was really struggling killing this one guy. Where's the guy that Connie killed? This is a scene where he kills a lot of people. Where is it? I'm trying to find the scene with Connie. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. Bam. So, yeah, like last episode, right? Connie was like struggling. Oh, I can't kill this LDN, still my friends or whatever. Maybe he knew those guys better, arguably, fine. But still, I do find, am I the only guy that find this scene kind of weird in a sense? Because last episode was like 10 minutes of Connie and Armin, like, oh god, we can't just kill humans, we're Titan killers, shit, oh my god, the Jaegerists, we don't want to betray them and so on, right? And then in this episode, Connie's like, bam, 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 and this girl's like, no, please don't kill me! Bam, bam, bam. He just murders like 20, 30 people. And Mikasa kills like 500 people. He just flies around in this blood crimson, right? Mikasa dancing around, murdering the whole army, right? And Connie and Yin also kills a lot of people. And am I the only guy that thinks this is like really terrible in a way? Like how it just goes from, oh, I don't want to kill these people, and then like, what is like 2 minutes later, he's massacring, he's just like, you're slaying them all. He's like, bam, 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 right? He's like, he's like, when he started his murder rampage, everyone has to die now. Yeah, it's just, and this is what I mean, right? People love to defend this anime, or manga, I guess, saying that only the ending is bad or whatever. But no, this is like character assassination. Come on, am I the only guy? He just went from, I don't want to kill anyone that I have to kill, to just becoming like this mass murderer. He went Eren. Yeah, he's up killing everyone. It's just like, no, this completely breaks happened last episode. I mean, I guess it's easier because now he started killing them, so he might well continue. Yeah, now it's like, whatever, I'm into it now. Yeah, he's like, I enjoy the murder, so now he's doing it. But it's like I guess you can argue he snapped or something. I guess there's some argument you can make that he's snapping, or after killing one guy, he can kill infinite now or something. Yeah, after your first murder, it's easier or something. I suppose there is some leeway to it, but it just feels like so extreme how he does that. And Yin also got earlier. I was like, oh, I don't want to kill people. He's like sniping the left and right too, right? They're both like just killing half they're killing so many people now. Yeah, they're like whatever, right? I'm not saying they're wrong or whatever. I'm just saying that, from a personality change or whatever, it's just like, oh yeah, that's true. Now he's like killing all of them. Yeah, now he's like, it's fine, whatever. Let's just murder everyone, right? And then lastly, of course, what the hell does Mikasa do? Well, she just kills everyone. But like, I don't understand generally, right? And I'm looking at tomorrow with the whole pool of least likable character and hated character or whatever, right? But where's the goddamn scene when Mikasa does like a bloodbath thing? There's a scene when Mikasa get like draining blood and so on, and it's another scene when she like stabs someone and she's bathing in the blood, and she stands there with like a badass or whatever. She's like, yeah, that's right. She's like blinded by all the blood in her face or something. It is so much murder, but it's one Where's the guy? Here, I found it. Here, this like scene in the middle of the episode when Mikasa, here I found it. Holy shit, man. This scene, Mikasa is like, kill! Yeah, she's like, bam, 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 bam! I hate these people, yeah. Holy shit, right? She's really, come on, she's enjoying it. She's like, I will murder everyone! Yeah, this is like, Mikasa kills like hundreds of people by herself, right? She's like dancing in their blood. She's like a carnage scene, right? She's full on carnage Mikasa. And I never understood, genuinely, right, why people like Mikasa. Because the only thing she ever does is just killing people, yeah. The only thing she ever has a character is she's a strong female character. But I mean strong in the most literal sense, right? She's like a strong physical fighter. That's it, right? She's a goddamn killing machine. She's like murdering everyone here and is seemingly enjoying it. But mostly she's murdering all, right? All of the other characters. No, of course, no important characters, but she's killing like, all the non-important characters with insanely ease, right? And I guess she's enjoying it, right? But it's just the whole thing that she's just like, yeah, as soon as she goes the other direction, everyone dies, right? And it's just like, what else has she offered in a storytelling moment, right? Her character is just a killing machine, right? She has like no personality or no willpower, whatever, really. She's just like a living murder robot that just kills everyone. Let's be honest here. That is really right. And I have a very hard time understanding people think she's the best. I mean, even if you like her, how many people can actually argue she's the best female character ever? Yet, they exist, right? What? This is her only personality. It's just killing everything that is in her way, right? Because she acts like humans or assassin the Titans, right? She's like massacring all these humans. Who said they were Titans? That's her only personality ever in all the seasons. The only thing she ever does is just killing a lot of characters, right? If they're Titans or humans or whatever, they're, you know, LD and Marley, it doesn't matter, right? She's just the worst killer ever. That's just her whole thing. Her whole thing is that she's an unstoppable killing machine. And her emotions are on the same level of a machine, right? I will just kill everyone. And of course in the end then it doesn't make any sense. She cares about Annie, it doesn't make any sense. There's no build up for her actually caring about Annie, right? No, I can never really understand how people like Mikasa. Or I mean, I can understand in the most, you know, basic way. Oh, they just like a woman that's good at killing people or something. Anyway, last thing I want to say before I turn off the review, guys, is of course how useless Annie and Reiner are. Like, holy shit, have they been nerfed, right? And I think that also is a little bit issue of the plot, right? Honestly, I think so. Yeah, it's just like Annie and Reiner. I guess you could blame that Annie is rusted because she hasn't fought for like a few years. But Reiner has really become this like laughing stock of the anime, right? Where he gets owned every episode, and it's just like Annie. She looks at Reiner jumps in front of her, right? And, oh, he dies again, and she's like, "Oh, he died again," right? She basically doesn't do a react to it. She's like, "Oh, Reiner, you dead again," right? And this is a weird thing I feel with Reiner, where he has like an immensely high plot armor because he can clearly take infinite damage and yet always survive, right? But at the same time, he's like a magnet for bullets, right? He always takes like infinite damage and then you survives, right? And Annie also takes insanely amount of damage this episode, and also of course it's completely fine later, right? But it is like the only thing they both did was it's getting completely owned. Yeah, they got owned by a few people with javelins. They got so goddamn owned, and then we see Mikasa, like these two shifters, right? They killed like what, like 4 or 5 people together, probably, yeah. They kill like 5 people together. And then Mikasa kills like 50 people in 1 minute by herself, right? It's just like, it's just so silly how incredibly useless they are and how they've been so nerfed, right? And he's supposed to be this badass fighter, you know, almost as good as Mikasa in the normal form, right? Now she's back with the boob titan, and she just gets like demolished by these random nobodies. And Reiner, of course, always gets demolished by everyone because it's Reiner. He's just there to be a punching bag. He's just everyone's punching bag, right? And then Mikasa after this, just kills everyone, right? It's like, yeah, then Mikasa jumps in, and she just murders, like, you know, all of them so easily, right? And these two shifters are like, and you stand there getting, like, stun-locked forever, and it's just like, man. But I think it's an issue, seriously. Not an issue is how Reiner is ridiculous at punching bag, but I mean, just generally speaking, right, how, yeah, I feel they really, really nerfed the shifters too much. Like, it almost feels like it's pointless being a shifter, right? It's better being an Ackerman, I guess it always was, but it's like Gabi has like more kills, right, than Annie and Reiner also together, yeah. Like, it just doesn't make any sense how incredibly bad they are in the actual wars. Like, it's starting to, because of course the technology has been improving, right, but it does feel like, like, why did people fear the Titan? They're so bad, right? You always get the feeling like, how can they be so useless? You know what I mean? Like, why would the Titans be mad? And I guess there was a plot point earlier that, oh, the technology is so good now, the Titans are shit, right? But it really feels that they're too shitty, that they're too bad. Like, it's just like, oh my god, they amounted to so incredibly little in this episode, after shifted last episode. They amounted to so little. And again, then how Mikasa especially is just so incredibly more threatening and effective than these two are together, right? Like, she's worth like 10 shifters, right? She's worth like 1 billion shifters because she has an infinite range of damage, right? And of course Gabi for actual killing plot characters. And these two are just there to be like, I don't know, punching bags, right? And now Annie, I guess, joins into Reiner because she's teaming up with Reiner. That means that you're a punching bag now, yeah. She gets like adjacent punching bag. She's like, oh no, I shouldn't be on his side. He's like a useless punching bag. I'll take a kill too, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? She's realizing it here in this page here, in this panel here. He's realizing it. Oh shit, I have joined into the Reiner party of being a punching bag. I'm a goddamn bullet sponge. Oh shit. She realizing her mistake in this scene here that, oh no, I am just like Reiner. I'm just gonna get shot a lot by now and never get anything done except just getting bullets in my face, right? This is the moment she realized what team she was on. She was on the Reiner cries, hates alive, and punching bag face. Yeah, guys. Anyway, longer review than usual, I feel, but I had a lot to say about the Gabi, right? So the sound went down now when I was doing the review here. My hatred for Gabi is ever as strong, right? Years of hatred, all bunched up. Well, I guess, of course, I should mention that I love the bromance. But I just like that scene, you know? I like the scene where, of course, the old two men are like, yeah, that's fair. This is a great scene. I do like this whole scene. They get sort of screen time, but they are like, yeah, bro, let's just like protect our kids and so on. It is a nice scene. That they have this little bit of bromance, like the old man bromance thing. They're like, oh, what are you here for? To protect my children. Oh, I'm here. Oh, you know my children? Oh, this Annie girl. Oh, we both raise her. Oh yeah, let's die together to protect them. It is a nice scene, right? They both like, yeah, man. Anyway, I went on my rant. But yeah, that is a good comment though, you know, of course. I'm celebrating too easily that Floch is dead. But you know, I read it, so I know what's gonna happen. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, but anyway, subscribe, press the like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the stream. We're talking about the hated list, right? I'm gonna go over what you guys voted for and so on. Sorry, the sound went down here, a little darker here. But yeah, so I think this is still up probably on my channel and also on Twitter and so on, right? No, actually, it just cancelled. It just cancelled. We'll talk about it more tomorrow in the next stream. I'm talking about head character. But like I said, Floch won, right? And followed by some other characters. But yeah, Floch massively won. Talk about that tomorrow. Go over what people voted for. It just ended. Yeah, that's true. I did, of course, a 7-day pool, Twitter pool. Last episode ended. So yeah, Floch won, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But I'm just looking at it now. I'm like, man, Floch really won. Okay. Floch is like, every other character together is like less hated than Floch. He really won, okay? Like, Floch is like if you take all the other votes, right, together, they're not as much as Floch. So he's really hated. Holy shit, man. Like, every vote together on Twitter is less than the votes for Floch, man. That guy is so hated. Holy shit, man. It is beautiful. He's so hated. But yeah, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil, you know. But anyway, guys, see you guys tomorrow with the most hated list. And do a stream about that, right? Discussing why some characters are most hated. Look over your list. And I did spoil, of course, that Floch is the most hated character. But as I said, it's hilarious how he's so hated that, yeah, you can combine every other character that you could vote for and they still don't beat Floch, right? But anyways, you guys can have a great